Now we are going to discuss about the healthcare associated infections. So earlier these healthcare associated infections were called as the nosocomial infections, but now that terminology has been removed and it is referred to as the healthcare associated infections. Now what are the healthcare associated infections? How can we define this? So this definition is very important, and this definition is the only important point in this topic. Okay, so though healthcare associated infections are defined as all the infections which are acquired in the hospital other than for which he is admitted. Okay, suppose if a patient is admitted for suppose cholera, and he acquires some infection infection over a wound, or some respiratory infection, pneumonia, etc. So that will be called as the hospital acquired infection, because patient is admitted for cholera, some a disease which is other than the patient is suffering now after admission into the hospital, that is pneumonia. Okay, so this is the infection which is acquired in the hospital other than for which he is admitted, plus the symptoms appeared after 48 hours of admission. So if he is getting that symptoms of pneumonia, that means either there may be two possibilities: either he or she has received that infection in the community or in the hospital. So when do we call it that the patient has acquired that pneumonia in the hospital? Only if the symptoms are occurring after 48 hours of the admission, then we'll call that he has acquired this pneumonia or respiratory infection after admission into the hospital or in the hospital. If the symptoms starts occurring within 48 hours, that means he must have acquired that pneumonia or respiratory infection in the community already, okay, before admission. So that is one criteria for healthcare associated infection. And the other criteria is that infection was not present at the time of admission. That means pneumonia was not present at the time of admission, it has occurred only after the admission. So by this example we understand that how we can define the healthcare associated infection. So there are three criteria for HAI definition, that is the infection acquired in the hospital other than for which he is admitted, and symptoms appeared after 48 hours of admission, and infection was not present at the time of admission. So by remembering these three criteria, you can define healthcare associated infection. Now what are the factors which predispose to the healthcare associated infections? The important factors which are predisposing to these healthcare associated infections are the immune status of the patient, so if the patient's immunity is low, then he has more chances of getting the infections in the hospital premises. Okay, so that is how the immune status affects or makes a person very much viable for infection of the on infections in the hospital. Then the hospital environments. Okay, if the cleanliness is not maintained in the hospital and disinfection, fogging, etc. is not maintained in OTs, etc., that means there will be higher rates of the hospital acquired infections in all those patients who will be admitted in that hospital. Okay, so that hospital environment is also predisposing to the hospital acquired infections. Plus multi drug resistant development. We know in the hospital premises multiple types of antimicrobial agents are used in different types of patients for their different infections and all. So there is high chances of development of the resistance, in fact multi drug resistant in the microorganisms, and those microorganisms are very tough to handle for the doctors, and hence that also makes a that also causes the increased rate of the hospital acquired infections because they are difficult to treat. Then the interventions. So in different types of interventions are done in the hospital, like diagnostic interventions or therapeutic intervention. Diagnostic interventions, suppose if you are doing a lumbar puncture, then if you're not maintaining the asepsis at the site of the puncturing, then that may lead to the CNS infection. That will be a hospital acquired infection, isn't it? So always we should do all the processes in a septic manner. Okay, or therapeutic interventions, like if we are doing a catheterization, so you should do first the cleaning with the betadine at the genital areas, then only you can introduce then you should introduce the catheter in the genital area in the urethra. Okay, otherwise that will lead to UTI. Some interns usually do that also in the wards, that they do not clean the area with betadine or and all, and insert the catheter directly, and that may lead to UTI in future in the patient. So that may also lead to the hospital acquired infection. So these are the diagnostic or the therapeutic predisposing factors for the HAI. Then transfusion. If some IV fluids or blood products are not screened properly, that may also lead to the infections, the blood-borne infections. And some IV fluids may also lead to different types of infections if IV fluids are not sterilized before supply to the hospitals. Then, so these are all the predisposing factors which may predispose to the hospital acquired infection. Then how is the patient getting that infection? What are the sources of infection? So source may be a endogenous source. That means the patient's own microbial flora is causing the infection in that patient. Okay, suppose if we have a surgery in the abdomen, so that may lead to the exposure of the flora of the gut to that surgical site. If the gut is open, and that may lead to in future the infection at the surgical site by the gut flora only. So that is the endogenous type of infection which is caused by the microbial flora of that patient only. So that in that case, this microbial flora of the patient itself serves as the source of infection for that patient, for the hospital acquired infection in that patient. Okay, so that is endogenous source of the infection. Then exogenous sources are also more common. So exogenous sources are like the hospital air. We all know, we all I mean, those who belong to the government medical colleges, they know that the government medical colleges, the air in the government medical colleges, or in fact the food and water of the government medical colleges are not that much safe. They generally contain the infectious agents, we all know that. Still we work in that, there is nothing we can do for that. So those hospital air, food and water that may cause the hospital acquired infections. Also the medical equipments like the endoscopes or the bronchoscopes, they may also lead to the infection in the patients. And healthcare workers, very importantly, the healthcare workers may be a source of infection to the patient. Suppose a healthcare doctor or an intern um, do the some procedure in one patient who was infected with some who has some types of infection, and then without hand washing or without doing proper hand hygiene, he touches some other patient, then there are great chances that he or she will transfer the infection from that person, from that patient, to the newer patient. So healthcare workers are very important source of infection for the health for the HAIs. Okay, then other patients also. Suppose you are keeping a patient next to a TB patient, so there are high chances that this patient who has been put next to the TB patient would also acquire the TB from that TB patient. So the other patients may also be a source of infection for the different patients. So these are all the different sources for the healthcare associated infections. Now the what are the different organisms which are implicated in the healthcare associated which are most commonly found in associated with this healthcare associated infection, which are commonly found to cause these healthcare associated infections. So those are written with a very good mnemonic in the book, that is escape. So escape means E for enterococcus, S for staphylococcus, K for klebsiella, covid-19, then A for Acinetobacter, Pseudomonas, E. coli. So these all are different microbial agents, microorganisms which are very commonly found to cause these healthcare associated infections. Okay, now the next, these are all the different points in the topic of the healthcare associated infections. But the two most important questions which may come from this healthcare associated infection is the definition of the healthcare associated infections, and the number two is the what are the different types of healthcare associated infections. These two are the very important questions from this topic or from this chapter. So different healthcare associated infections are these four. There are other also other infections also, but these four are most common. Okay, most commonly found, like this catheter associated UTIs. These are found in 33% cases. In 33% cases of the healthcare associated infection, the infection is nothing but the catheter associated UTIs. Then in 31% cases of healthcare associated infection, it is the surgical site infection. Okay, then in 15% cases of HAIs, there is ventilator associated pneumonia VAP, and then in 13% cases there is central line associated bloodstream infections. So these are the most common type of HAIs which we see in day-to-day practice in the hospital. So the most common HIs are these four, that is CAUTI, SSI, VAP, and the CLABSI. We will see the different diagnostic criteria of these healthcare associated infections in a different video. So that's all for the first part of the healthcare associated infection. This is a very easy topic and easy to remember.